Okay, so let's bring Mr. Robert Wood, darling. Hey, welcome. Let's make sure you unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Wow, what amazing to follow that lady because I don't know who she is, but she's definitely a love after my heart since I have over 400 crystals. You've seen my crystals and stones. Our stones would love each other.
Aw, your stones got to meet her stones, and they'll be happily ever after.
Stones together. My 200 stones are definitely connected to her 2,000 stones.
Do we even? I actually lost track counting. Honestly, do we have to count our stones?
Yeah, they're all connected. I have to say they're all connected.
Oh my God, I never thought about counting how many I have.
I've got thousands.
Addiction. Talk about addiction. Okay, let's not go there. So welcome, Robert. Please tell us who you are and everything. Go for it, my friend.
Yeah, some of you probably have seen me before because I love doing Sherry's events. And I met her, 4 years ago, coming down here to Florida. And she said, Florida's pretty good. And I took her up on it and moved down here. So I came from Boulder, Colorado. And Boulder was a wonderful home for me for 40 years. I taught spiritual classes. I ran river trips and then been a spiritual teacher ever since. I do soul readings and spiritual teachings for other people quite often. I've done probably thousands of readings and I work with precious gemstones. So following a beautiful lady, that's one of my specialties. And the stone energy is a reflection of your soul. And one of the understandings that when you say you're spiritual, you're trying to understand yourself beyond the idea that you're a body. You're trying to see who you are. And of course, the spiritual understanding is everything is energy and that we're all energy. Our energy beingness is what we're trying to understand. And so how is energy understood is the idea that you're more than a body. You are more than just a solid mass. Energy is flowing through you. But how do you see energy? Energy is seen through color. Energy is felt through texture. And so as we see ourselves and as we feel into our essences, we see our aura essence, and that energy vibration is seen through colors. So gemstones are such a wonderful mirror and reflection of our auric energy. And when I've worked with people, I help them see their aura through the stones that they pick, and the energy fields that they reflect back is the same thing of seeing your aura and see your energy field. To see somebody's aura, you have to be able to receive the person. And if I take off your body, then what I do is start to see you and I remove your body idea and then I start to receive you and then you reflect and show yourself as color. Just like a crystal is showing you a reflection of itself. It's not, all the other colors are passing through it, except that stone is trying to show you what you want to see about yourself. So all color is a reflective essence of your being. And so when you're looking for somebody's aura and to see their aura, you have to receive them, and everything but what they want to show you is passing through you, and you're seeing a reflection of what they are really wanting to show the world or themselves. So that's a specialty I learned to do, is see people's auras. And when you see people's auras, then you get to see people's soul. And as you see people's soul, then you get to know that who they are before they were in this reality. Life is a complete continuum. And when you lose your body, everything that you are just continues. And what we want to see about that and knowing your soul is the understanding a little bit of quantum physics. Quantum physics is a wonderful realization that many scientific minds have learned to go into. Our mind is like this beautiful telescope. We can see out into heavens and see this incredible expansive energies and see this incredible expansion of solar systems and then galaxies and then billions and billions of galaxies. Or our mind can turn inward and go down to the microscopic atom and even below the atom, and now even below the particles of the quark particles into the helium quark particle, which is also known as the dark matter and the God particle. These things are realizations of that life is nothing but a gigantic container. And so you can say your body is a container of the molecules of your atomic self. That would be a kind of a spiritual understanding of your body, is a container of atoms that also contain within inside yourself thoughts that hold your memory. And then within that body of the body is your emotional body, and that holds energy charges that reflect to and bounce off your soul that's in your mind. Now, your soul energy also is a container that is made up of light particles from the quantum dimensions, and that is what is the container that holds your soul. Astrology and numerology that you've heard from a lot of people about, those are other types of containers, and they hold larger collective ideas. Astrology is the containers that hold vast memories that we all can hold in those particular containers. But your soul container and your oversoul container, often known as your higher self, holds all, and the ideas of the what you might call the archaic records. Those are the records of all the memories that have been held in your soul, and all the records that are being held in eternity, because everything is a memory and everything is retained and everything's held in eternity. So that makes up you much more than just your body, much more than your personality, much more than your mental thoughts and your emotions. You're a soul self. And that soul self has existed throughout eternity in the quantum dimensions and retains everything that you've ever been, everything you will become, because it's an eternal container. And it never loses. It loses from time to time in its own development, its expansive and contraction nature. The soul can expand and also contract, but it's also very much connected to your oversoul, which is so gigantic and so huge. It also contains many of your own soul selves. And then ultimately, there's only one container, which you want to say maybe is God or the Great Spirit or the everything of existence. That is the beingness that you are, and the consciousness that permeates everything. So let's come back to our personal lives, and to understand where we're born, we're given this goo that we call Adam material. And that Adam material self then is the beginning of the formation of your personality self, that then creates the matrix of your lower memories, that then creates a personal self. Somewhere on your journey, there's an interaction that happens, which is called your second birth or your awakening, and then you awaken to your soul self. Your soul self then starts the process of birthing or integrating into your personality, just like a ray of light coming into your personality self. When it happened to me at 28 years old, I had a spiritual awakening, and that completely shattered my personal identity of who I thought I was as this emotional self that was living a life as a real estate broker and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And when then I spiritually woke up to my soul, I changed my path completely, because my soul self integrated and started bringing about the soul knowledge that I had from other lifetimes. And I actually turned into and started teaching spirituality. I taught spirituality from the age of 29 to my current age now of 70. And I never stopped teaching spirituality, because I've done it for many, many lifetimes before. And my consciousness and my knowledge and my beingness of that soul integration gave me the power and the ability to show other people how to know their soul, how to find their soul purpose, and how to live in their soul understandings of what it takes to integrate. One of the greatest ways to integrate your soul is to learn how to meditate, or learn how to receive the soul beingness of your own true self. So really, your personality is an aspect of an identity of yourself, and your soul self is a different identity of yourself, and your higher self is an higher identity of your true self. And then ultimately, you are one self, the one self that exists in everything, the self that is the I am that I am. And in that process, though, there are many identities you have of who you think you are. Past life regression, past life review is the memories of which you see yourself from past lives, of which you still retain identity in your soul of who you still think you are on some quantum time dimensional space reality. That's a little bit woo-woo, but it's worth understanding that past lives exist in the eternal soul as a collective memory of what you wanted to still remember, what you still wanted to hold on to, what was valuable for your soul to continue its evolution in creation. Your soul is constantly creating, constantly evolving, constantly developing more and more skills of which you've had for many lifetimes. That's why I was a natural spiritual teacher, because like I said, my soul realized it's done in many lifetimes, and I want to continue it. When you see prodigy children that have soul abilities to play the piano or have mathematical abilities, they also have been in their soul and continue those interests from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, because there is no death. There is no such thing as death. There is always just a continuation of what you are, what you've been, what you will continue to be for many billions of non-time dimensional space continuums. So it's really fun to think of yourself as eternal. It's really wonderful to remember your soul is doing in your personal self exactly what it came to do. There's really no such thing as past or future. There's just this internal quantum dimension of which your soul wants to create the things that you love, the things that you want to become, and the interests that you want to become. Those are the archetypes of the great spiritual natures. Some people, like for me, when I was younger, I was also very physical, and I've had lifetimes as a spiritual warrior. So my lifetimes as a spiritual warrior loved my physical self. So I was a football jock and also loved martial arts. But my soul self had a great interest in spiritual development. So when my spirit merged with my physical self, I became a spiritual warrior, both physically strong and dynamic, led me to some experiences of running rivers and being in nature. But then I was also constantly teaching spiritual development and how to know your soul and how to see your spirit nature and how to develop your own soul integration. That's the great secret of life, is that you learn how to integrate your soul with your personality. They merge and become one. And then the higher oversoul also helps your personal soul. And those energies all work together to be the best you, the greatest you, the most accomplished you that you want to become in this lifetime, because you find that you love yourself more than loving the external reality. You find that inner self that is so beautiful and so wonderful. That's what it means to know your soul, is really to know your true identity, to love yourself in such a great way that that self that you are starts to manifest more and more into this world. I learned as a child, I didn't love myself so much. And as I grew up, I thought love was the material external reality. As I got to know who I really was and my internal self and became that, I fell more and more in love with myself. Then myself emerging, and I become the teacher and the person that I really was meant to be. So that's what I want for you. That's what I do with my life work. I teach others how to know their soul. I teach them to find that part of themselves that they are great and eternal. I help people know their soul missions and why they came here. And as you start that process and get integrated more and more, you become the happiest, most fulfilled person you could ever become, because you're not looking outside of yourself for happiness. You're looking for the happiness that resides in your internal soul, and then your oversoul is super happy to help you develop. Now, I don't know if there's anyone out there, because I'm just talking to the universal self that you are, but if I can answer any questions or help anybody, I would be happy to answer questions or take a little time to share open communication. Or I can chit chat as much as I want with you and Sherry. With you and me, Sherry, can talk all day long.
No, let's open it up. So when you say, hey, I'm open up for communication, anybody have a question for Robert? Anyone want to raise your hand? You can wave or put your hand in the reaction. Wave your hand, raise hand.
I don't see anyone.
Chantel.
So all I'm seeing is you, Sherry.
Oh, No. You can't only see me.
Okay, I need to see more people, I guess. I don't
Oh,
know.
you have to put yourself in
Oh,
gallery
Oh,
view.
there you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, I see the wizard. I see my crystal friend that I haven't met yet. That's
Yes.
just a
yeah.
beautiful crystal angel being. We've been many lifetimes before, I'm sure, because she's doing the same work I always do. Oh, and there's some other, oh, there's a beautiful Violet. Oh my gosh, and Mary
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they're all there. Yeah.
Viola's taking a class that I do on Wednesday nights about spiritual relationships. So
So
I'm just having
we're all here, Robert. Who do you want to chat?
everybody's here. Who wants to say hi?
Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to chat? Who do you want to answer some questions for?
Who wants to ask a question? I don't even know who wants to ask a question.
Any hand raised? A wave of hands? Hand up. Don't be shy. What? How about Kate Tyson? I don't know who Kate Tyson is. She's been hiding for a while. You can stay hidden. Kate, are you in the room? There she is. All right. Unmute yourself, Kate. Beautiful.
There's Linda.
Hi, I don't have any questions. I'm just listening.
Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to tell you real quickly is you got a lot of orange in your energy and you've had lots of challenges in relationships, but you're very, very fun and jolly and you always bounce back from every challenge and become more confident, more self-secure, more of a lover, and more willing to learn about higher love. Your soul is a lover and you just love to love and you always learn where your mistakes are in that and you keep growing. You see, you're welcome. One of the things that you want to understand when you learn to receive somebody instead of look at somebody and you receive them, their auric energy comes to you in a second. I work with people in Florida, when I was in Colorado, I work with people in Australia, I work with people all over the country, and I can connect with them in less than 1/8 of a second and read everything about their aura and their energy field because I've mastered to be in my feminine body and receive more than I look out at you. Well, when I was a young man, I like to look at your body. But when I got to be spiritually awoke, I learned to look at your soul. And so to look at somebody's soul, you learn to receive somebody, not look at them. That's a little technique that anybody wants to read souls. Anyone else? How much time do I have, Sherry?
You got 10 minutes.
I got some
I have
time.
a question.
Who has a question? Who wants to share?
I have a question.
Yeah. Who is that? Who is that?
My name is Chantel. I was wondering, how long into a spiritual awakening have you noticed people getting the most from getting their Akashic records read to them?
Well, a lot of times people go to somebody else to read their aura and their energy field, and then that's trusting on their ability to tap into your soul. And so what you want to do is meditate and deepen into your own soul knowledge and learn how to feel the subtle vibrations of the images that are brought to you that then helps you see your own soul and then see your own past lives. So as you deepen your meditation practice and what you have to do because of your power energy, you have to exercise and run like crazy and move your power and then drop into a bath and meditate in deep surrender because you can't meditate just sitting there. You got too much power. So your mind, it doesn't have a control that it needs to learn to meditate. So that's why it's hard sometimes. But if you learn to exercise super strong and do some Kundalini yoga, then you'll be able to surrender into the bathtub and have visions and impressions, and spirit will start to bring that integration you're looking for and give you soul impressions. Then you don't have to run to somebody else. You can see your own past lives. And then that is much more useful because you probably have lived about, let's see what I'm getting, probably about 600 past lives. So which one should I show you?
I don't know.
See, what you want to see is your past lives that can help you in this life, because this is the lifetime you want to integrate and this is the lifetime you want to be your best. So it's not going to do you a lot of good to see some other past lives. You have to see the past life that's really going to help you affect this lifetime. And that's the mistake that you go to sometimes, not the highest past life readers, is they try to show you your past life instead of you discovering the one that will really help you the most in this lifetime. So I really encourage people to find the ability to see their own inner self and not to go to somebody else to tell them something of who they are. But
Yeah,
if you do what I say, exercise like crazy, drop in a real hot bath and surrender, you'll be able to soul travel and see a lot of your past lives.
I just feel that right now I'm in an awakening somewhat, and I feel like if I tried to do that also, it would be too much. It would be overwhelming.
That you would get scared and frightened?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
you
would
probably
happen.
would be a little scared of what you'd have to see. You'd have
Yeah.
to see some things. That's another particular energy that you have to understand, is to be a spiritual warrior and not afraid, because when they show you things from past lives and you're afraid of them, then you rush right away from it. So that is the learning to be fearless and look at the things that you see with love and light and acceptance, and not feel like you have to change it or be upset with yourself. That gives you more ability to see and understand. So the more you practice this world acceptance and love and being okay with all your karma, then you can see more of your other past lives. So that's a part of your integration in this lifetime, is to be able to accept what you're going through, so, and forgive yourself, so then you can understand the karma of it. But
Okay,
you are
thank you.
you are awake and on your spiritual path. So don't be concerned. You're going to do tremendous integration, and you have a very high soul. So a lot of more integration is going to really start happening for you. Thank you for putting in that energy and time to yourself.
Always.
Always. Yes. Very advanced one there. Anyone else open? Who else would like to ask a question?
I wouldn't mind.
Yes, please. Say your name.
Raphael Wiseman.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
What is your question?
I'm very interested in what it takes for me to get, there's a little jump, because I channel and I bring through the most incredible stuff. But I get the sense that what comes through is not psychic. I never
Yes,
know.
you're not a psychic. A psychic is a different level. Psychic reads the mind. You sometimes want to work on the mind when you're working with much more higher advanced beings and higher understandings. And you also in your childhood was very traumatized and abused and didn't know how to heal that abuse. It's still blocking you from your own confidence and certainty. But sometimes you're getting more clarity that you're so far advanced ahead of the majority of people that are trying to work on their spiritual path. It kind of like shocks you why you're given such a big assignment, but you are given a huge assignment because you're able to do it. And you're a person that is willing to kind of surrender and receive, and they trust you, so they believe in you. And so just recognize you're not supposed to work on the psychic level.
I get that. I'm kind of feeling that there's a next step, like threshold. I've been going through one threshold, into the next.
Yes, you have to
but
work a little bit more with your little boy. Your little boy is still blocking you.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't get Akashic record information, that kind of stuff.
Yes, that's because the little boy is blocked, and the little boy was traumatized. Deal with your boyhood traumas.
You have any recommendation specific?
I can work with you and help you release that, but you have to rebirth and know how to hold the little boy inside of yourself. And you had very early so much trauma about that you blocked him.
Okay, that makes sense.
You blocked the little boy in you from the trauma, and you didn't know how to heal him, and he's keeping you from traveling in some of the other dimensions. But because your spirit is so willing and so open and so honest and so true, they can use you quite nicely.
Okay, thank you.
You're just a very committed soul that is so committed and dedicated and devoted that they just say, yeah, it's hard to find one that's so willing and open and can listen and obey.
We have fun too.
that was also part of the challenge that you had, that sometimes you were forced into things you didn't want to do. But on the spiritual dimension, it opened you up quite well.
Thank you.
You carry a high, deep indigo blue flame, and there's just some dark gray around your kidneys and a little bit of blockages in your orange chakra. When we clear that energy, then you'll have more of a complete opening.
Sounds good.
Thank
I
you for
don't-
your honesty. Thanks for your honesty. It's nice to meet a high teacher that is willing to be a humble teacher as well. Most teachers just try to think they know everything. I'm
Well,
always constantly learning.
Well, if we can't, walk our talk, then whatever comes through us doesn't make sense.
Thank you so much. You're 100% correct. That's that vulnerability why they like to work with you.
So would you tell me, I don't see your number or any of your info on your name.
Gary can get it.
All right, I'll get it.
I'm not so high tech sometimes. I have to work in the tech world. I was one that always worked in nature.
Well, I love nature too.
Yes, I was out swimming the rapids and running the class 4 rapids and living in the other nature worlds, working with the medicine energies a lot too. But anyway, I am learning the technology, so I'm here to serve. So any way I can help anyone, feel free to check with me here. I'll be here till 10 o'clock. You can talk with me. I'm doing half price readings, and you want my number, I can work with you later. And it's just, I don't know, is it my turn's over or anyone else have a question? I don't want to use anybody else's time if somebody else's time is supposed to come in here.
Hello, I am here.
Yes?
I am. Hello, Michelle Howe Clark. The next speaker has joined.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you, everyone. Many blessings. I'm in room 11. Thank you for listening. Thank you for connecting, and know your soul. You are awesome. Amen.
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 Amen.